So I pull up some statistics, and there's a lot of used cars here that have been sitting on the lot for a long time. This beautiful little F-150, who wouldn't want to buy that? But it's actually been on the lot for over 100 days now. And this Nissan Rogue has been here for 79 days. This Jeep Cherokee has actually been here for about 99 days. And this beautiful BMW M3 right here with all of the carbon fiber on the wing and beautiful exhaust tips and flared fenders and over 400 horsepower of Fury with double clutch transmission has also been here for a long period of time, as of this Corvette. I've seen this here for at least 4 months now, so cars are not moving. The message is, don't buy a car right now. Yes, these dealers are starving. There's lots going on in the market right now. I've been looking on the wholesale side, so of course access to auction shows that a lot of the cars are not selling as quickly. The cars that are running through the lots aren't being looked at by a lot of the dealers. There's less people standing at the auction lines, and there's less people putting down the money on the riskier ventures. Yeah, they're still buying on some of the vehicles that they know are surefire cars, but there's a lot of dealers that aren't even putting down the money because they know every 6 months goes by, we're losing more and more, and prices are plummeting on used and new cars. So that's why dealers are starting to get hungry. A lot of these cars just aren't moving. Almost the same can be said on the new market. Of course, we're talking used and new are both a risk right now. Obviously, lots going on in the industry and lots going on in the economy that's clearly driving this. Everybody assumes it's just the premium cars and the exotics that aren't selling very well. Well, let me tell you, I've been shopping for some higher end cars as well, and I've been watching the market in that space. And I can tell you, I've seen a lot of vehicles just not selling. If you watch the traders and you watch what the dealers are doing, they're slashing, drop, $5,000, $10,000. They're dropping prices on some of these used exotic cars and even premium luxury cars. But I can honestly tell you, looking down this line, these are all regular, everyday SUVs. So how do you know these dealers are getting hungry? How do you know they're getting scared? Well, the bottom line is, a year ago, they would never even consider incentivizing any purchases. As a matter of fact, they would just basically, here's a car on the lot, a used vehicle, take it or leave it. And if you didn't take it, somebody else would be behind you waiting for it. And they could say that and you could call their bluff, but the reality is there was somebody waiting behind you there, waiting to take that car. So you did feel that pressure, that ongoing pressure to grab the vehicle. But nowadays, what you're finding is our dealers are calling you back. They're texting you. They're returning your responses. If you're inquiring about something, even just going on the website, I go to autotrader.ca sometimes just to sniff around. And what you'll find are dealers that are clearly even calling you, they're cold calling you after you just do a little quick dip into the trader and you do a quick calculation. When you look at the price of that vehicle, and you run some numbers even to request a Carfax. That's what I found, requesting Carfax or CarProof. Boom, you hit that button. That's not a button to give you the Carfax. It's supposed to be. But literally 15 minutes later, you actually have a dealer texting and calling you because they are getting desperate. That's what's happening right now, folks. The reality is inflation's climbing. Some of the economists, even just this morning, and they're saying that base inflation is still looking at climbing. What is stopping this? The only lever the government has is to clamp down on interest rates. Interest rates then mean that you're going to pay more for a car on loan time. So you go down there and you buy your used truck or new vehicle and you're going to have to take out some money. That just means that you're going to spend more and more and more on interest charges, especially if you don't have cash to buy it out. Remember, everyone, they tell you don't buy cash, but cash is still king. The dealers want you to finance. They want you to lease. They lock you in and they hit you with those big finance rates. And if you're a good customer, you're subprime, and you're basically good to go and making your payments, they love those types of people. They love you. And then if you get in a lease, that's even better because they know that you're a losing proposition. And a lot of times it just means that you keep dishing out and out and out. You get at the end of the term, you could either let it go and lose a whole schwack of money, or you get into the next one and they make it more palatable to dive into the next car or make model, next model year of that vehicle. So clearly dealers are getting much more hungry to sell a car today than they were even 6 months or a year ago. So the prices are literally about to drop like a rock. We haven't seen it yet on the retail side, but trust me, on the wholesale side, that's happening already in the auctions. And I mean, I even look at vehicles like this. Look, the luxury car segment as well, not just the regular day vehicles. I mean, look at these. These vehicles have been here for a while, and some of them are used, some of them are new. But the point of the matter is these vehicles are having a hard time selling because of the higher interest rates, and people just don't have the money that they had 2 years ago when the government bailouts were happening. So as I say, they basically want to sell a car, and I'm already starting to see, look at the Stellantis, essentially Dodge Jeep, as well as any of those Fiat products. Dealers are getting super hungry because they had too many vehicles on the lot to start with. Thought they were going to capitalize, and now prices are getting slashed $5,000, $10,000 on brand new vehicles. Those are sure indicators that dealers are getting hungry. Now, another factor we have to talk about are these beautiful cars like this. Obviously, a very seasonal type vehicle and aspires to certain types of buyers. And cars like this brand new M3 or this older M3, M2 competition, as well as cars like Camaros and Mustangs, Corvettes, and any of those other kind of cars are often purchased by younger buyers, spontaneous buyers, some of which are going back to school. And that adds an additional pressure for dealers to make it up on the bottom line with other sales. So clearly the red flags are there. Dealers are starting to chisel away, knock prices down a little bit, and it's not just seasonal. Clearly it's an indication that they're getting hungry. People aren't buying like they were a year ago, and clearly the mark is starting. The snowball is just starting to unravel. The point that I would want to make is this is not the time to hit it. The time to hit it is once we're starting to see that nosedive, once maybe inflation has taken a bit of a hit and you have some cash in hand, then you can go in there with some really hungry dealers trying to sell slightly used demos or maybe brand new vehicles, even with massive incentives, or used cars that just dealers can't get rid of well enough. So definitely want to hang on, wait this one out, and you'll get yourself a smoking deal because dealers are hungry.